honestly, okay. All right, what are we doing? Peacemaker season 2, episode 2. All right, we're gonna just get right through this. I'm gonna try to make this one as quick as possible. Okay, it's gonna be like a 5-minute video. Okay, so we start the episode out with Rick Flag Sr. is being shown around the office of Argus because he just accepted the job or whatever, and he gets accepted, and then he finds out about his son's death, and then he's like, not a hit. He should have put a hit on Peacemaker, and this wouldn't have happened, but then we wouldn't have a show. And he tells Sasha Bordeaux that, and then Sasha Bordeaux is like, all right, and then she puts Economos, we're going to call him by his name that they want him to be called in this, Economos. I guess he changed it because of the events of the first Peacemaker, so I guess his name was probably always Economos, but I just called him Diebeard. Anyway, and then he's like, yeah, watch him. Okay, now we cut the Peacemaker, and he is in head over his heels on this one. You know, he is down Schitt's Creek without a paddle. He just got done killing his alternate version of himself, right? And he's holding himself in his hands, and he doesn't know what to do. He immediately tries to like hide the body, and there's a bit where he can't hide the body. It keeps falling out. It's pretty funny, actually. You got a little chuckle out of me on that one. But he goes back to the normal universe, and then he grabs his phone, calls Vigilante, and then he tells him, hey, you still got your bone saws? Then there's a bit with Adobe Photoshop, and guys, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not too interested in anyone else's storyline but Peacemaker's in this, but again, with Toxic's storyline in this, it's not really hitting home for me at all. She's trying to deal with her problems through brute force, and it's just not working. You can't, trying to, there's even a scene in this one after she yells at the dude about the grocery store where there's job hiring, but she ignores it and walks past it because I think they're giving off that she's basically once you get a taste of this life, it's hard to give it up, it's hard to go back to your normal tapping on the computer, the joke I made, but let's be honest, at the end of the day, what's your other option? You're just gonna rot away in an apartment, your bills are going behind. It is what it is. You need to do something. I just think you need to do something, but obviously with the trailers, she's gonna be the girl she's gonna be sent to go get Chris because she's the only one that can get Chris's attention. We'll find that all out later. I'm just speculating there, but Adobe Lightroom and Chris are talking about his quantum unfolding chamber, and basically she's telling him he needs to give it up to Argus and the government because they're gonna pin this on him. He's gonna go back to prison. He's like, I don't really agree with this. I think that it's mine and I should be able to keep it and do whatever I want with it because my father made it. So as they're talking on the front porch, we cut to the Argus. We cut to Economos, John Diebeard Economos is his full name, and we cut to him, and he gets interrupted. They sent him to watch over John Economos. Foley is introducing himself that they often send agents to look over the people that they're closest to test their loyalty to the Argus company, and it's like, okay, that actually makes sense. He introduces himself, but he basically just comes in and takes over the entire operation. Economos has no confidence in himself. He doesn't even want to be here, and he even tells him that. He's like, I don't give a fuck about none of this. I don't give a fuck about anything, really. And it's I don't really think you should be in Argus or working for the government or an intelligent agency if you don't care about anything. You should at least care about what you're doing. You should have some sort of passion behind that, but that's just a little side rant. So Frawley comes in there, he even eats the man's nuggets. Economos is trying to enjoy a freaking 12-pack of McDonald's nuggets, not a sponsor, and he goes and he's eating it, and you can even see how weird it is. I don't know, it's just one of those weird scenes where it's you didn't really eat the nugget, but and then they could do the weird the crunch noise, and it's just nasty and gross. And then Frawley interrupts him, and then Frawley's silly, cracking jokes. But he's awesome about it, and he sees Adobe, and he's like, "Damn, I'd like to tap that ass if you're talking to me about what I would want to do with that." Then we cut back to them watching Adobe and Chris, and as they're talking, they're wrapping things up. I will say Adobe tells Chris, hey, you better watch out because, they're watching you. Argus is watching you, and Rick Flag Sr. knows that you were the one that took out his son, so he's extra watching you. If you just, be careful a little bit, it'll be a little bit careful right there. As they're finishing up talking, Adrian walks up with, all the cleaning supplies he could get out of his mom's house, and he's ready to help Chris at a freaking drop of a dime. This man loves him so much, it's not even funny. They also set up this joke with Frawley about a bird blindness, but they start to set up this joke about bird blindness, which is a fake thing, just so everybody knows. Because I'm curious sometimes, and I gotta go see what this stuff is in real or not. But they set up a joke about bird blindness because Eagly flies out, and he's like, "What the heck was that?" And then we cut to Peacemaker and Adrian, and they're going full Dexter on the alternate self. They're cutting him up, chopping him up. They don't hold back on the gore on this, which is, I mean, I guess for when you get the rated R show, you might as well show it. It's all just confusing because the DCU could hope you're keeping up with all the DCU these days, kids. They're chopping up. It's gross, but I watch Dexter. I like it. Whatever. He drops the head. He's just having moments. Adrian's being Adrian. He's loving every moment, mopping, dancing. There's just then a phone falls out and Chris picks it up. Peacemaker picks it up and puts it in his pocket naturally, and they take the body of the alternate Peacemaker and burn it in the alien's box from the beginning of the first episode. I will say I love seeing this. It's a bit boring of an episode, the cleanup, but it's something that I think is like something you have to take care of, but it also raises a lot of questions, but we don't have to get into that right now. But like, why isn't the other people, actually I'm going to get into it, but why isn't the other alternate people going into the quantum realm? You think they would have already established a connection in a relationship, considering that both Chris's has had this quantum realm since they were kids? There's no way that they haven't crossed paths yet. Like, it just raises a lot of questions. Like, and James Gunn himself said that they know about it. So like, why didn't they go check that immediately after the son went missing? And if you have blood in the library, your first thought would be like, okay, if there's nobody's here, it's probably in the quantum unfolding chamber, the freaking pocket dimension that we always go to put our helmets and stuff in. But then we never, there must be no echo too. For Infinite, there's no echo, and then no one runs into anybody, but nobody strays past what's right in front of them. There's just helmets and that's it. Like, it's like you turn into the freaking NPC character trying to walk out of the mission zone. Like, you can't do it, buddy. You're stuck. You're not going to be able to do it. I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, this just brings up a simple thing. Like, silly writing. That part was silly. Like, it's just like they should have immediately checked. But anyway, I'm straying off too far. They're cleaning up the body. They're burning it. Full Dexter. I freaking kind of love it because apparently Dexter's doing really good. And we're going to go watch the new Resurrections when I get a chance. You know what I'm saying? When I get a chance. But then the alien interrupts, and then John yells at the alien, and then Adrian's like, "Who's that?" And then the alien's like, "Is he autistic?" And then Chris is like, "He's definitely autistic." When they did go into the quantum unfolding chamber, it alerted the Argus van that Frawley and Economos was in. I think Frawley calls Sasha Bordeaux, and then he's like, "Hey, what should we do?" And then she's like, "Hold off, just ask Economos if he's going to the party later." And then Economos is like, "Yeah, of course I'm going to the party later." And then he like doesn't even think twice about like, why would they ask that? But I guess that's probably like, it all makes sense, I guess, because like, why would they send him anyway? Then they're done. They clean up, right? And then they go back, and Chris is looking through the phone, and he sees that they're a lovely couple, him and Harcourt in the other universe. But he ultimately has a party to go to, so he throws the phone down and he gets ready for the party. And then we cut to Harcourt, and she's getting ready for the party. And as they're all getting ready to go to this party, him, the whole group from the first show, from the first season, they're all going to have a party. It's a good time. Harcourt's there, Economos, you got Adobe Photoshop, you have Vigilante, Adrian, Chris, Peacemaker. They're all separate entities, and they're all there. It's gonna be a fantastic. Okay, so then they're at this party, and Frawley, I think I'm saying his name right, I don't even know, Frawley, he was told to hold off earlier because they're going to break in while everyone's away at this party. So they break in. They even find the door. They like manage to find the door for a second, and then Eagly proceeds to fuck everybody up. He goes in, he knocks some dude away, knocks another dude. He's pecking at people's faces. The one guy, this is where the joke pays off because he's like, Eagly is like on top of this dude pecking at his face and stuff. And then he's like, "I can't shoot him because my bird blindness. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do." And I didn't think it was that funny. He caters to 12-year-olds when it comes to his comedy. Grow past that. Like, I don't even understand. Like, it just never lands for me anymore. But anyway, Eagly messes everybody up. He pecks a dude's eyeball out. He pecks a girl's jugular vein out, and then he flies up and swanton bombs into Frawley, knocking him out. And then we cut to the party, and Peacemaker has a moment with Harcourt, and she's like, "Dude, this is like, I don't need you to take care of me. Basically, you're a fucking clown." He gets blackout drunk on Bud Light, not a sponsor, and proceeds to go back home. He has a little moment with Eagly. He's blackout drunk. He doesn't even care that the house is all a mess. He goes to grab a bong, hit off a bong, and then he decides, oh, but the phone's right there. He sees the phone from the alternate universe. He grabs it, immediately goes to try and text Harcourt. It obviously doesn't go through because he's in the other universe, so why would it go through? And then he like stumbles into the pocket universe and then stumbles into the door. And when he's in the door, he hears his dad saying a few things. Let me see here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I can do the intro too. Eagly fucked him up, dude. I liked Eagly, but then there was a moment at the end when they do a slow motion scene, which I just didn't need that. Like, you didn't need that, but I guess you need it when you have, like, a quota to fill, when they're like, we need 50 minutes of television, and he's like, fuck. In writing, I can't think of a good one right now, but you're like, and I was so happy. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. We've all done it. But Eagly messes him up. It's a great time. Peacemaker stumbles back in, and he goes into the dimension, and then everything happens, and then he overhears his dad, right? And his dad's talking to his brother Keith, and he's like, you think that Karen girl knows anything that he's been talking to? And he's like, you think there's pills involved? And he's like, what's with the blood in the library? Going back to what I was saying earlier, is like, why didn't they check the pocket universe? If they know it's there, it's the dimension, it's a room, it's an extra entity, it's a whole universe, basically, dimension or whatever. Like, you might as well, like, that would be the first place you think you would check, especially since, like, whatever. I don't know. He gets a message. He is interested in what his father's saying, but then he gets a message from the Karen girl. He's instantly distracted, and then we cut. That's the end of the thing. That's the end of the whole show. That's the end of the show. That's it. It's so boring. It's really boring. The only thing that happens is Eagly has a cool little moment. I don't really care about any other sideline stories. Toxic is like whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Adobe Photoshop could just, I'm unsubscribing. This is not what I paid for, but I'm unsubscribing because I don't even do it, even though I bought it, and it's just been sitting there costing me money. Even Economos, it's kind of sad. It's just like he's still working for Argus. He's just being pushed over. He's still the nerd that just does what he's told. Frawley comes in and takes over. He doesn't even stand up for himself. He doesn't know where his gun is. He's just a slob. I don't like his storyline. Vigilante's just there to be dumb. I was looking into the trailers for the next episode, and I'm almost 100% certain that they are in a Nazi-ran world, because every time they cut to that world, it's just white people beyond white people. Like, there's no people of ethnicity here. Like, it's just a spectrum of white. The bad guys are white and white. Like, it's the Nazi-ran world, and I'm calling it. I called it in the first episode. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to double down. The group feels forced to hang out with each other. It just doesn't feel authentic. Like, it's like none of the relationships are really there anymore. The one with Diebeard was them bantering, but they obviously can't work with each other. I will say I'm excited to go to this next universe. This next episode is like going into this universe to see why it's so perfect in his eyes. It's so perfect. But from what I've seen, it's so perfect because it's all just white people celebrating the white man for killing the white people, is what it seems like to me. And I'm doubling down. I think everyone's bad because everyone thinks that bad is good in this universe. Nazis, man. And think about this, though. I've been thinking about it. I've been rewatching Creature Commandos, and if they bring in G.I. Robot, the funny dude, I've been watching, he's one of the best parts of Creature Commandos, but he hates fucking Nazis, dude. All he wants to do, he was built in World War II to, his main purpose is to kill Nazis. So like that's what he does. He's like, is there any Nazis to kill around here? I'm not even gonna do it. It's Alan Tudyk. Perfect. So if they brought him in and my storyline is correct, that would be insane. He would get to go on a Nazi killing spree because Nazis suck. Fucking bastards. Sorry. I get upset, but I think I'm doubling down. I think that's what's gonna happen. Michael Rooker's coming in to play a character, and the character seems cheesy. It's like an eel expert, a professional eel expert hunter, which doesn't make sense for America, but whatever. So he's gonna be hunting Eagly. I don't really care much beyond that, other than it's Michael Rooker, and I love that guy. So. And Peacemaker, OG Peacemaker is kind of a dick because he leaves Eagly to be hunted. Doesn't even think twice about Eagly. And that pisses me off because you might have an Eagly in that other world, but that Eagly hasn't done nearly the shit that Eagly in the OG world has done for you. You didn't think twice. He just left. I know you stumbled in there where you were drunk, but you go back and you bring that motherfucker with you, and you have two Eaglys. You don't leave him behind. Pissed me off a little bit. Peacemaker here. What a joke. But ultimately, I'd probably give this episode like a 4.5 out of 10. It's just too slow. There's too much silly dialogue and cheesy jokes. And a lot of it, when it feels like filler, when it feels like you're just trying to fill up a cup of water by putting mud in there to raise the water, it's still like it's muddy water now. Nobody wants to drink it. You just ruined all the water, dude. You got it to the top, but you did it in the worst way possible. It's fine. It's fine. But anyway, my money on the cameo is I'm switching to GI Robot. You can put Bloodsport on the back burner. You can throw him, you can save him for like a big crossover event. I'm still excited for where it's going. This episode was boring. I'm not excited to watch this episode ever again. I probably won't ever watch this episode again. Peace out, everybody. Have a good day. But what do I know?